Hello there. So, I don't know if this is going to be a draft or the real thing, but I wanted to document this information that is coming to me. So, man, the past couple days, or at least this morning, I've been trying to hone in on understanding the dynamic of masculine energy, feminine energy, relationships, myself, trying to understand my limitations and uncover more shadows that I may have and may not understand about myself, and just trying to find my truth, or at least try to understand how everything works or is supposed to work. I'm trying to uncover the natural flow of nature and the natural rhythm of things, the natural order, the natural synchronicity of things, so that I can build products and services and structures and designs and systems that follow this natural flow of nature, that are in accordance to the laws of nature, and move away from systems that are in place that are still being going on, that's still working, that are not in accordance to nature. So that's that's been my goal, and at the same time trying to understand how to do the same thing in terms of relationships, how to get men and women in alignment with each other so that there's natural balance, natural respect, and everyone can participate in that. Doesn't matter if you're labeled today as a beta male or if you're labeled today as an alpha male. I'm trying to design a system that will work for both, that will help restore the imbalance in our civilization as a whole. Like, our entire civilization is off rhythm. So my goal has been to understand this natural rhythm, understand what's happening, understand the chaos, so that I can design new ways and new systems and new ways of being that can capitalize on the natural order of the universe. Because I personally feel that there's a lot of misunderstanding there. Like, this type of stuff is hard to understand. It is hard to understand why nature is nature. It's very hard. And how you're supposed to approach it. Are you supposed to control nature? Or are you supposed to work with it? Or direct it? Or create a safe space for nature to play so that both parties understand the expectations of the exchange. And that's another topic that I'll talk about later. But for now, I wanted to talk about this piece of information that I just came aware of. Like, it was almost like an epiphany. I've been digging, trying to understand. I've been listening to this book, The Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsch. And in the first chapter, Neale is having a conversation with God was talking about the origins of what it is. And so I was listening to this last night and I was writing down. It was so confusing. It's so hard to understand. But I was doing my best to try to understand it. And so I wrote down notes like God described himself as all that is. All that is. It was like I wrote down these phrases. That which is, all that is. That's how God, the ultimate oneness of things, source, describes itself. But at the same time, it also says that that which is also not. And I was trying to understand what that means, And so we went further and said that in the absence of something else, because Source, all that is all that is. There is nothing else. And so the absence of nothing else or something else, all that is not. And so, like, that had my head spinning. Like, that statement was so confusing. And, let me say it again. Like, in the absence of that which is not, I'm doing it, saying it backwards. In the absence of that which is not, that which is not. And so that statement has been confusing the crap out of me, because I've listened to this book numbers of times, and that statement has always like confused me. But I think I finally understand what that statement is trying to say. Like, I can literally use an analogy of what I'm going through in my life right now to clarify this statement, to make it sense, to make it make sense to myself and to potentially others that come across this literature. So there are two characters here. Two characters that Source is talking about. That which is, that's one character. That which is, which, Source or God, or however you want to describe that. And then the other character number 2, is that which is not. And so in my paper, I have the word is underlined, and then below it, the other character I have is not underlined. So you have two distinct things, that which is and that which is not. Okay? You following me? All right. So now, God said that, Source in this book said that, in the absence of that which is not, character number 2, that is not God, in the absence of that which is not, that which is, the character God, is not, doesn't materialize. So when the end of this sentence is not, look at that is as the number 0. The number 0. In the absence of that which is not, that which is not. The number 0 is not. So in the absence of, oh man, I just got another download, another way to look at this. So the is not that is referred to is the number 0. So is not in this scenario here at the end of the statement is the number 0. The character is not is is things that are not is, which is like things that are not God. So things that in our minds, in our lives, that like we say, okay, we're not God, we as people, we're not God. God is a different, distinct thing. So that which is, which, we refer to as God, and then that which is not, which we refer to us. In the absence of us, God does not exist. That's basically what that sentence is saying. In the absence of that which is not, which is us, humans, mankind on this earth, that which is represented, that's how God's described himself, that which is not, is 0. There is no God without us. Right? That's basically what this thing was trying to tell us. And it just came to me. And then I have another analogy to even, validate this statement even further and how it even represents and manifests in our lives. And so I was in the mirror thinking about this, like trying to understand and piece it together. And I was like, wow, I think I understand it. Because you hear these phrases saying that, God is within us, we're God, and everything that we need is within us, is in our souls, and we just need to look into our souls for the answers. Like, you hear these statements, but what does that mean? When people say that you are God, what does that mean? How does it if that's true, then you should be able to use this phrase to represent yourself as well, if we're supposed to be God, correct? And so, surprisingly, I finally can match this statement to my own personal life to prove that we are all God, in my opinion. And, yeah, look this up for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Look this up, you know, scrutinize it. Well, not scrutinize it, but like research this yourself to find your own answers. Does it make sense for you? Does it resonate with you? Don't just take my word for it. I want you to research this yourself. That's what I was doing. I decided to go on a journey on my own to find out my own truth and find out this for myself, not just listen to what others have said and what my parents have said or my church home has said. I decided to go on this journey on my own and have some self-discovery about what truth really is. And so the analogy that I found that mirrors this statement, that which is representing God and that which is not represent everything else, right? So this is going to be interesting. So if I am myself, my ego, my soul represents by God, saying that which is, for me, like my personality, like who I am, I've always seen myself as a great person. Like I've always seen and known myself to be like a magnificent person. Like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Very ambitious, very goal oriented, very a good visualizer, a good visionary. Like I've always known this about myself, right? In this book, God was saying that that which is was all that was. There was nothing else. And I knew myself to be great and magnificent, but I had no way to show myself that. I had no experience of that. I just knew it. And it craved to know itself. And so it created the third dimension, correct? And so it can experience itself. So how does that relate to my personal example? Well, that which is, which I'm representing by me, the person, I'm God in my own mind, in my own being. I see myself as God. So I am that which is in this example, that one distinct character, and then that which is not. What is represented by that? And so that is how I was able to figure this thing out. There are, even though I think myself so highly, I can appear so arrogant sometimes, and just have this confidence that sometimes bleed arrogance. Like I admit that, but I'm not perfect. I know I have flaws. Like I know that there's things that I struggle with. I know that I have some areas that I need to work on. We all do. We all have these areas. And so it is in these areas that we are not. Like I know I struggle with discipline. Like I can think highly about myself all day. I can think of business ideas all day long. But if I don't take any action and be disciplined enough to actually implement those things, do the things that I am not, right? I am not those things. Like currently, I am not disciplined. I am not action. I'm thinking all day. I'm writing all day. I'm imagining all day. It takes me a while to take action. And that I'm working on that. Those are the things that I am not. And so, in the absence of that which is not, in the absence of my discipline, in the absence of me taking action on my dreams and goals and visions, in the absence of me not rolling up my sleeve, getting through the things I fucking hate doing. There are parts of jobs that I hate doing. I think I'm above them. I think anybody else can do them. Why should I do them? I'm too smart. This arrogance. As long as I maintain that arrogance, as long as I continue to not do the things I need to do to get my products and services off the ground and created, right? All that hard work that's required, that which I am not right now, because I haven't been behaving and being that, in the absence of that which is not, that which is myself, my greatness, the things I imagine myself to be, all the brilliance that I imagine myself to be, is not. I'm a zero. I won't do shit. I'll just be a failure, not materializing anything. Somebody, the person that gives up on his dreams, the person that regrets his life, the zero, the loser. So like this statement literally represents my life, what I'm currently going through right now in this moment. Now I finally understand what Source was saying in this statement. In the absence of that which is not, that which is not. In the absence of me doing what I have to do to manifest my reality, my amazingness that I think highly of myself will amount to nothing. That's basically the message to God, that God, what God is trying to say. This is why God had to become God. This is why the third dimension had to materialize. This is why we exist. We are literally the action. We are the discipline. We are the structure. We are the foundation of the greatness of God. We are the manifestation of the greatness. Without us, God doesn't exist. This is why it's important for us to do what we're doing now, to create, to build, to have discipline, to overcome challenges, to swallow the pill and roll up the sleeves and do the work. Do the things that you hate doing. Don't have any resistance to those things because they're necessary. This statement here is for me to not have resistance to the things that are necessary to create my visions. This is the message God had for me this morning. And this is amazing. Like, I now understand completely what this statement means. I've been wanting to understand this statement for years, and it finally has come to life. This is beautiful, man. Like, I am in awe. I just literally just need to roll up my sleeve and do all the stuff that I need to do, and I will be admired. I will be this amazing person. You know, I will be the manifestation of that which is. It'll be beautiful. The power of the magician. This is how, and I'm sharing this because I made a video earlier about the magician and the power of manifesting things. This is another element of that. If you understand what I mean here, and to, know that, hey, like, yes, you are amazing. You are great. You are powerful. But until you do the things that you don't want to do to get there, you're never going to experience those things in this reality. You will be nothing. You will be a zero. And so I got the message. I'm going to roll up my sleeve and do what the fuck I got to do because the clock is ticking. What a message. It's like I got all these notes and papers like a decoder ring or something. It's insane. This is beautiful knowledge. This is a secret wisdom of the universe, So hopefully this resonated to you. If yeah, this definitely took a mind of its own. So I'll leave it at that. You guys have a good morning.